Hello there, kids. Welcome to Screwball Science. I am Dr. Hairball, and this is my associate, Dr. Lipstick.
And today we are going to make eggs burp.
Give it a rest, Lipstick. The burping experiment is over and done.
But some of the kids weren't here last week.
I'm sorry, the moment is gone. This week in our Science with Jesus series, we're going to play a game called Will It Float?
Oh boy, that sounds like fun.
Dr. Lipstick, I have a raw egg here, right here.
Yes, you do.
Do you think this raw egg will float in a glass of ordinary water?
Yes, I do.
Only one way to find out. Well, Dr. Lipstick, you were wrong.
Well, there's a first time for everything.
The egg has more density than the water does, and so it sinks. But what will happen if we add salt to the water?
Only one way to find out.
Please add 4 large spoonfuls of salt to the second glass for us and stir it well.
Okay. One, two, three, 4. Stirring. You let me know when it's well.
Well,
It's well? Okay.
now Lipstick, you saw the egg sink in the first glass. How do you think it will do in the second glass?
Yeah, I think it's going to sink again.
Well, let's find out. Dr. Lipstick, you were wrong again.
Well, there's a second time for everything.
The density of water is now greater than the egg, thanks to all that salt allowing the egg to float.
So is that how Jesus was able to walk on the water? The density of the sea was greater than him?
Not at all, Lipstick. Jesus could walk on water because he was greater. He was the Son of God, and he had amazing powers, like the ability to walk on the water.
Oh, I see. But how did Peter walk on the water?
Ah, that's the real question.
And what's the real answer?
Peter had faith. He had his eyes locked on Jesus, and when he believed, he was able to walk on water.
Oh, I get it. That's why he started to sink when he looked at the waves.
You catch on quick, Lipstick.
Well, I was in the upper percentile of the lower percentile of my class.
Well, kids, Jesus is amazing. He is the Son of God, and he can do amazing things through us. If we keep our eyes on him, and so we say to you,
Have faith and you will be less dense than a glass of water.
I was going to say, have faith, and God will do great things with you.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Say goodnight, Lipstick.
Good night, Lipstick. Hi kids, understanding the science of how things float makes today's Bible story all the more amazing. In this story of how Jesus walked on the water, it is also the story of how Peter, one of the disciples, walked on water. Science can't explain to us how either man was able to walk above the waves in this story, but there's a valuable message for us in what happens to Peter. Let's read Matthew chapter 14, verses 22 through 33. Immediately, Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on the mountainside by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by the waves because the wind was against it. During the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You have little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" And when they climbed into the boat, the wind died down, and then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." So right after Jesus fed 5,000 people, as we read last week, he needed a break, and he told the disciples to hop in the boat and then to let them know, and he would catch up with them. And the disciples did not know that catching up meant that Jesus would walk to them across the waves in the middle of the storm, but that's what happened. Jesus was a miracle worker, and they had seen him heal the sick and the disabled, and they had seen him transform a little boy's lunch into a feast for thousands. Walking on the water was nothing for him because he was God's son. What makes this story amazing is that Peter, an ordinary fisherman, was able to walk on the water too. And Peter had no miraculous powers, but he had great faith. And as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, then he could walk on the water. That's our story for this week. So I have a couple of questions for you to answer. And they are, the disciples went out on a boat and got stuck in another one of these. What was the boat stuck in? Question number 2, Jesus walked across this to get in the boat. Number 3, the disciple wanted to walk on water too, or this disciple wanted to walk on water too. Who was it? And number 4, Peter started to sink when he looked at this. Okay, that's our assignment for this week. If you send me your answers either by messenger, Facebook Messenger, or email or mail to the church, I will send you a prize in the mail. And if you read the comments of this video, it gives you the instructions on how to submit those answers. Have a good week.